And hello everyone, my name is GeekFam, and today we're going to be going over everything we know about The Division 2. Now, let's start with the basics. We know that it will take place in Washington, D.C. during summertime, about 6 months after the events of the first Division game. One thing I noted while watching this gameplay is that there's no minimap. You can see your objective, your player level, your friend's health, but there's no minimap. Like in Far Cry 5, they removed the minimap to encourage exploration. They could be doing the same thing here. One of the factions we know we will be fighting are the True Sons, a group of paramilitary warlords bent on using their combat expertise and overwhelming firepower to dominate their enemies and expand their territory. Smart and organized, the True Sons are led by a former JTF officer whose ruthlessness and combat prowess make him and his combatants a horrifying force. Something new we see here is how a player shoots down the crate to gain loot. When we see the minimap open, we see a bunch of new things, such as these red dotted lines. My theory is that these could be enemy patrol routes. We also see in the top left corner the high value target symbol. This suggests that high value targets will be returning. We also get a glimpse at our new emote wheel. The previous game only allowed you to have 6 emotes, where now you can have 8. We also hear a comment about Isaac and the chemical residue.
Toxic chemical residue detected.
This suggests that contaminated areas will be returning, and you will need the proper level mask to enter them. We also see the objective the agents have been trying to go to, the control point. We do see more about the control point later. Now, this elite boss does have something special about him. His health bar does not look like elite enemies we have seen in the previous game. More on this later. We also see how our armor is now a bar instead of a damage reduction value. We also get our glimpse at abilities, more on that later, frag grenades, and medkits. We also see the menu get pulled up. The social tab says Elite Task Force. Since we know that clans are already going to be a thing, my guess is that the social tab will be a tab for clans. We also see a specialization here. We know there's going to be 3 different specializations at the end of the game, a demolitionist, a survivalist, and a sharpshooter. Each of them will have their own signature weapons. The demolitionist will have a grenade launcher, the survivalist a crossbow, and the sharpshooter a sniper rifle. Here we can see the grenade launcher that the demolitionist will have, as well as armor, weapons, abilities, contaminated items, stashes, and I'm not sure what that other item is. It looks like gear sets will also be returning, as we can see possibly an alpha bridge, but the rest of them look new. We also see the 3 main stats on the left of the menu. They do have different symbols, but I'm guessing there's still skill power, stamina, and firearms. When the player selects the weapon tab, we can see all these weapons have already been in the previous game, but I'm guessing there will be new weapons as well. We also see something we haven't seen before, a damage drop-off. The marksman's rifle bonus is still headshot damage. There's also a new marksman's rifle talent, Pyromaniac. Damage done to targets on fire is increased by 15%. Instead of requiring something like stamina or firearms, it now requires over 10% weapon damage. However, the assault rifle bonus has changed. Instead of enemy armor damage, it is now health damage. We also see a new assault rifle talent, the Loaded for Bear. Reloading from empty increases weapon damage by 20% for 5 seconds. Shotguns still increase stagger, and there's also a new shotgun talent, Close and Personal. Kills while close double next shot damage. We also see one of the enemies using a new weapon, what looks like to be a sticky thing launcher. I don't know how else to describe it. But this looks like it prohibits your movement until you either wiggle out of it or a teammate shoots the sticky stuff off. Now, back to that special elite. It looks like you must shoot the weak points to damage the armor, and then you can actually hurt him. This will help prevent things like bullet sponges, where you just shoot 20 mags into them until they die. Unlike the flare gun in the Dark Zone, the flare used here attracts allies. This could be used whenever you're in trouble and need backup, or whenever you have captured a control point. We do see a lootable gun crafting bag from the first Division game, however we don't know if there will be gun crafting parts in it, because we do not see him go and loot the bag. Now, on the Division website, it gives details on the new skills. The Assault Drone, an unmanned device that can be controlled remotely and sent to unleash a special brand of hell on unwitting enemies. The Chem Launcher shoots various chemicals that disperse upon impact. Its effects vary, from explosive vapors and corrosive acids to repairing nanobots. Choose wisely and neutralize any situation. The Hive. While primarily a defensive tool, the offensive version is called the Wasp Hive, where small drones are launched to cause devastating effects to targets within an area. And last one, the Seeker Mine. This one was in the first Division game and will be making a return to the second. Once activated, this mine locks onto the closest enemy target in range and rolls along the ground in their direction, detonating when it gets close enough. We do know there will be a beta coming, but it probably won't be for some time, probably around holidays, like the last beta. Now in the E3 conference, we are also given some more information. Some information about the story is that the virus has mostly burned out. We also see in this trailer a horse. It's unknown whether we can ride him or not, but I'm hoping we can ride horses around. Specializations will also have exclusive versions of skills, as well as their signature weapons. We also know that for the first time, we will be getting 8-player raids. After launch, we will be getting 3-episode DLCs. Episodes will give us new story, new areas to explore, and new activities. And the best thing of all this DLC will be free. We were also given a little bit more information in the Ubisoft After Show. The UI shows enemies' current activity, like executing hostages, as we see here. We also see components, which seem to be a crafting resource. We also get a new assault rifle bonus, Lock and Load. You can now loot stuff as junk. We know the map will be 20% bigger than New York. Not only that, but the map will be nearly a 1-to-1 representation of DC. Obviously, it won't look all destroyed and overgrown in the real DC, but this is their interpretation of the 1-to-1 ratio. We see something unusual here. We see the player pick up 22 water, which is more than the max water you can hold in the first Division game, which makes me think this will be a currency of some sort. Once they've taken the control point, a friendly officer appears, and he needs food, water, and components, probably for making a settlement outpost. We do know that settlements will be a thing, as well as safe houses returning. Perhaps there will be some sort of base building on each of the settlements. We also know that there will be a revised Dark Zone coming to the game at launch. And finally, we know that the release date is March 15, 2019. So, we got our first gameplay at E3 for The Division 2, and I am very excited about it. What did you think about all the trailers? Post your comments down below. Make sure to hit that subscribe and like button, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.